My Diary from Here to There by Amada Irma Perez, illustrated by Maya Cristina Gonzalez. This genre is a diary. A diary is a personal account of the author's day to day experiences, ideas, and feelings. And as you read, look for first person point of view, the author's thoughts about people, places, and events. So think about the characters, the setting, and plot of events. Dear Diary, I know I should be asleep already, but I just can't sleep. If I don't write this all down, I'll burst. Tonight, after my brothers Mario, Victor, Hector, Raul, and Sergio, and I all climbed into bed, I overheard Mama and Papa whispering. They were talking about leaving our little house in Juarez, Mexico, where we've lived our whole lives, and moving to Los Angeles in the United States. But why? How can I sleep knowing we might leave Mexico forever? I'll have to get to the bottom of this tomorrow. Today at breakfast, Mama explained everything. She said Papa lost his job. There's no work here, no jobs at all. We know moving will be hard, but we want the best for all of you. Try to understand. I thought the boys would be upset, but instead they got really excited about moving to the States. The big stores in El Paso sell all kinds of toys, and they have escalators to ride, and the air smells like popcorn. Yum! Am I the only one who is scared of leaving our home, our beautiful country, and all the people we might never see again? My best friend Michi and I walked to the park today. We passed Don Nacho's corner store and the women at the tortilla shop, their hands blurring like hummingbirds' wings as they worked the dough over the griddle. At the park, we braided each other's hair and promised never to forget each other. We each picked out a smooth, heart-shaped stone to remind us always of our friendship, of our little park, of Don Nacho and the tortilla shop. I've known Michi since we were little, and I don't think I'll ever find a friend like her in California. You're lucky your family will be together over there, Michi said. Her sisters and father work in the U.S. I can't imagine leaving anyone in our family behind. Okay, diary, here's the plan. In 2 weeks, we leave for my grandparents' house in Mexicali, right across the border from Calexico, California. We'll stay with them while Papa goes to Los Angeles to look for work. We can only take what will fit in the old car Papa borrowed. We're selling everything else. Meanwhile, the boys build cardboard box cities and act like nothing bothers them. Mama and Papa keep talking about all the opportunities we'll have in California. But what if we're not allowed to speak Spanish? What if I can't learn English? Will I ever see Michi again? What if we never come back? Today, while we were packing, Papa pulled me aside. He said, Amada, mija, I can see how worried you've been. Don't be scared. Everything will be all right. But how do you know? What will happen to us? I said. He smiled. Mija, I was born in Arizona in the States. When I was 6, not a big kid like you, my papa and mama moved our family back to Mexico. It was a big change, but we got through it. I know you can too. You are stronger than you think. I hope he's right. I still need to pack my special rock. And you, diary. We leave tomorrow. Our trip was long and hard. At night, the desert was so cold we had to huddle together to keep warm. We drove right along the border across from New Mexico and Arizona. Mexico and the U.S. are two different countries, but they look exactly the same on both sides of the border. with giant saguaros pointing up at the pink-orange sky and enormous clouds. I made a wish on the first star I saw. Soon there were too many stars in the sky to count. Our little house in Juarez already seemed so far away. We arrived in Mexicali late at night, and my grandparents, Nana and Tata, and all our aunts and uncles and cousins, there must be 50 of them, welcomed us with feast of tamales, beans, pan dulce, and hot chocolate with cinnamon sticks. It was so good to see them all. Everyone gathered around us and told stories late into the night. We played so much that the boys fell asleep before the last blanket was rolled out onto the floor. But diary, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about Papa leaving tomorrow. Papa left for Los Angeles this morning. Nana comforted Mama, saying that Papa is a U.S. citizen, so he won't have a problem getting our green cards from the U.S. government. Papa told us that we each need a green card to live in the States because we weren't born there. I can't believe Papa's gone. Tío Tito keeps trying to make us laugh instead of cry. Tío Raúl let me wear his special medalla, and Tío Chato even pulled a silver coin out of my ear. The boys try to copy his tricks, but coins just end up flying everywhere. They drive me nuts sometimes, but today it feels good to laugh. We got a letter from Papa today. I'm pasting it into your pages, diary. My dear family, I have been picking grapes and strawberries in the fields of Delano, 140 miles north of Los Angeles, saving money and always thinking of you. It is hard, tiring work. There is a man here in the fields named Cesar Chavez, who speaks of unions, strikes, and boycotts. These new words hold the hope of better conditions for us farm workers. So far, getting your green card has been difficult, for we are not the only family trying to start a new life here. Please be patient. It won't be long before we are all together again. Hugs and kisses, Papa. I miss Papa so much. It feels like he left ages ago. It's been tough to stay hopeful. So far, we've had to live in 3 different houses with some of Mama's sisters. First, the boys broke Tia Tuca's jewelry box and were so noisy she kicked us out. Then at Nana's house, they kept trying on Tia Nena's high heels and purses. Even Nana herself got mad when they used her pots and pans to make music. And they keep trying to read what I've written here and to hide my special rock. Tia Lupe finally took us in, but where will we go? She decides she's had enough of us. Finally, Papa sent our green cards. We're going to cross the border at last. He can't come for us, but will meet us in Los Angeles. The whole family is making a big farewell dinner for us tonight. Even after all the trouble the boys have caused, I think everyone is sad to see us go. Nana even gave me a new journal to write in for when I finish this one. She said, never forget who you are and where you are from. Keep your language and culture alive in your diary and in your heart. We leave this weekend. I'm so excited I can hardly write. My first time writing in the USA. We're in San Ysidro, California, waiting for the bus to Los Angeles. Crossing the border in Tijuana was crazy. Everyone was pushing and shoving. There were babies crying and people fighting to be first in line. We held hands the whole way. When we finally got across, Mario had only one shoe on and his hat had fallen off. I counted everyone and I still had 5 brothers. Whew! Papa is meeting us in the bus station in Los Angeles. It's been so long. I hope he recognizes us. What a long ride. One woman and her children got kicked off the bus when the immigration patrol boarded to check everyone's papers. Mama held Mario and our green cards close to her heart. Papa was waiting in the station, just like he promised. We all jumped in his arms and laughed, and Mama even cried a little. Papa's hugs felt so much better than when he left us in Mexicali. I wrote to Michi today, "Dear Michi, I have stories for you. Papa found a job in a factory and we're living in a creaky old house in El Monte, east of Los Angeles. It's not at all like Juarez. Yesterday, everything started shaking and a huge roar was all around us. Airplanes, right overhead. Sometimes freight trains rumble past our house like little earthquakes. Every day I hold my special rock and I think about home, Mexico, and our walks to the park. Papa says we might go back for the holidays in a year or two. Until then, write me. Missing you, Amada Irma." Well, diary, I finally found a place where I can sit and think and write. It may not be the little park in Juarez, but it's pretty. You know, just because I'm far away from Juarez and Michi and my family in Mexicali, it doesn't mean they're not here with me. They're inside my little rock. They're here in your pages and in the language that I speak. And they're in my memories and my heart. Papa was right. I am stronger than I think. In Mexico, in the States, anywhere. P.S. I've almost filled this whole journal and can't wait to start my new one. Maybe someday I'll even write a book about our journey. Grammar Lesson 22, Action and Linking Verbs. This first part we're going to go over is action verbs. An action verb tells what the subject of a sentence does. Most verbs are action verbs. Action verbs such as run and march name actions you can see. Action verbs such as want and need name actions you cannot see. In sentence 1, we flew to the coast of Mexico. Flew is an action verb and it's an action we can see. Number 2, I wanted a window seat. The action verb is wanted, and that's an action that you cannot see. Now let's take a look at sentences 3, 4, and 5, and we're going to identify the action verbs. Number 3, we landed at the airport. Landed is the action verb. 4, my sister knows some words in Spanish. Knows is the action verb. And number 5, she spoke with the taxi driver on the way to our hotel. Spoke is the action verb. Now in numbers 6 through 10, you're going to fill in some action verbs. Remember, these are possible responses. You could have done other ones as well. So 6, I went ahead and I filled them in. Number 6, we all swam in the ocean. Number 7, I sat on the beach. Number 8, we ate at a restaurant. Number 9, I want to buy some postcards. And number 10, I really like this vacation. Again, linking verbs. A linking verb connects the subject with the word or words in the predicate that rename or describe the subject. The verb be often acts as a linking verb. The verb be can take these forms: am, is, are, was, were. Some other verbs can also act as linking verbs: feel, seem, become, appear, look, smell, sound, taste, and grow. Sentence number 1, they are my parents. The subject is linked with a noun that renames it. Number 2, I am proud of them. The subject is linked with an adjective that describes it. In sentence 3 and 4, we're going to circle the linking verb and we're going to see if it describes or if it renames the subject. Number 3, my sister looks happy. So this is describing the subject. Number 4, we are a big family. Again, we're describing the subject. Action verbs and linking verbs. In sentences 5 through 8, we're going to identify the verbs and tell whether they are action verbs or linking verbs. Number 5, we walked to the Mexican restaurant. Walked is an action verb. 6, the food seemed very good. Seemed is a linking verb. 7, we sat in a booth. Sat is an action verb. 8, the waiter helped us with the menu. Helped is the action verb. Be can be a linking verb. So in these sentences, we were happy in Mexico and everyone was kind to us. Now here, the form of the verb be changed and it's used as a helping verb. We are going back there next year. I am studying Spanish now. We're going to work on grammar, page 77, action verbs and linking verbs. Remember that an action verb tells what the subject of a sentence does. A linking verb connects the subject with a word or words in the predicate that rename or describe the subject. So for this first part, they want you to underline the verb in each sentence and write action or linking to tell what kind of verb it is. So I did a couple of them for you. Number 1, the family travels far from home. Travels is an action verb. Number 2, we stay with my mother's sister. Stay is an action verb. 3, they are very welcoming. Are is a linking verb. 4, my father is a hard worker. Is the linking verb. So you go ahead and do numbers 5, 6, and 7. And then at the bottom part, it asks you to rewrite each sentence, and it's not necessary here. But we are going to complete it with the kind of verb shown in the parentheses. So these are possible responses. Number 8, they want you to use an action verb. Marco plays music on his guitar. Number 9, they want you to use a linking verb. He is a talented musician. And number 10, they also want you to use a linking verb. The children seem anxious about traveling. So you go ahead and finish 11 and 12. This is grammar page 78. Here they want you to underline the action verbs and circle the linking verbs. So let's go over some of these. Number 1, Claudio visits his grandparents in Mexico. So visits is an action verb. Number 2, he feels excited about the trip. Feels is a linking verb, so please circle that one. Number 3, Claudio's grandparents are happy about the visit too. Are is a linking verb, so circle the word are. Number 4, finally, the boy arrives. Arrives is an action verb, so underline that one. Go ahead and finish 5, 6, and 7. And then for the bottom part of this, they do say to rewrite the sentence. It's not necessary. Go ahead and complete each one with the verb. Then write whether you used an action verb or a linking verb. So I did some of them. Let's see. Number 8 says the young girl writes in a diary. Writes is an action verb. Number 9, she seems worried. Seems is a linking verb. And number 10, the mother comforts the girl. Comfort is an action verb. So for 8, 9, and 10, these are possible responses. You could have used other action or linking verbs. Just make sure that you think about that it makes sense and that you are checking to see if they are action verbs or linking verbs.